Metamorpho the Element Man, issue number 1. That's right, folks. Metamorpho is getting an ongoing. It is an ongoing. Al Ewing and Steve Lieber. Now, I think this is Al Ewing's first book at DC. He's also going to be doing Absolute Green Lantern. Okay. I am truly amazed Metamorpho's getting a book. Like, that's the power of a character being popular in a movie, I guess. Metamorpho is going to be featured in the Superman film coming out in July. We have an actor cast in the role. We saw a glimpse of them in the Superman trailer. It's exciting. This is a fun character. A character who I've enjoyed for a while, just in the sidelines, because why would Metamorpho have his own book? Why would that ever be the case? It's very bizarre. But Steve Lieber, the perfect artist to do that book. Because he did Jimmy Olsen when that came out from Matt Fraction, Superman Spell Jimmy Olsen. That's the energy you need for this book. Referencing comic books in a time of comic books we don't make anymore. This is not a book I would give to somebody who's never read a comic book. Because it would turn them off immediately. Because it is just so referential to comic books. Literally, the first page is something we rarely do in comic books anymore, which is just a breakdown page. Where it features, to know him is to love him, that fab freak who can change himself into any element in the human body. He's the one and only Rex Mason, alias Metamorpho, but what happens when a fearsome foe matches him change for change? An enemy who doesn't need to become any element, because he can be the one element that'll finish Rex once and for all. We have a starring page. Metamorpho, the freak of 1,000 changes. Sapphire Stagg, the star of 1,000 talents. Simon Stagg, the billionaire of 1,000 schemes. Java, the caveman of 1,000 sorrows. Urania Blackwell, the spy of 1,000 missions. And who is Mr. 3? We've got 3,000 questions. We don't do that. That's not something you give to somebody who's never read a comic book. Because it's crazy. And there's a sequence at the beginning of the book where the hero and villain interact. And it doesn't have anything to do with the story yet. It's pretty cool. So this book opens up, and it's like, and we begin our terrific tale, the strangest starting point of all, under the pitiless glare of a jeweled sun. And we see, like, Prince Raman is attacking somebody named Helio using, like, special power, and they're making, like, a specific gem, and then, like, the sun on this world explodes. And all this connects to the stuff going on with our characters. So here's a fun page, just, like, more homaging to classic bullshitty character stuff. Let's cut to Jump City. What's Jump City? Merely the grooviest town in this crazy marble we call Earth. Al, I get it. Okay? I am sold. This is how you should do Metamorpho. Insanity is what I'm saying. You don't have to go this hard. Okay? What is Jump City? Merely the grooviest town in this crazy marble we call Earth. Where is Jump City? It's where dreams are built and hearts are broken. Who is Jump City? It's you, it's me, and it's all of us. When is Jump City? It's the future, and it's now, baby, now. How is Jump City? Just swell. Thanks for asking. Well, it's also the new home of Stagg Industries, and it looks like a spy is breaking into it. Who's the spy? His name's Mr. 3. And he sneaks past a guard, gets into the room. He's like, Mr. 3 to Cyclops, I'm in, hacking information on a computer about Metamorpho. He wants to get the Metamorpho information. He's like, all right, so we can move to phase 3 now. I got all the information. And there's like a picture of Metamorpho up on the screen of the stuff that Mr. 3 is stealing. It's actually Metamorpho. Like, he comes out of the screen. He's like, yo, what you doing here, buddy? Okay. This book also has like a million alliterations. Like Fabulous Freak has said a whole bunch. You prehistoric pendant. Just stupid stuff like that. I'm not going to get into it. It's crazy. So Mr. 3 uses a power against Metamorpho. It stops him from his changing ability. And he's like, what's the matter? Is the Fab Freak feeling drab and weak? Like, that is this book, okay? Don't think this is serious. Nothing about this book is serious. Al Ewing is one of like the few directors working in Big 2 comics that still uses thought bubbles to express information, because Rex Mason has some thought bubbles. He's like, wait, what's happening to me? I don't understand why I can't pull myself together. That's pretty crazy. And then we see Sapphire, Simon, and Java show up. Java's a caveman. He's the security guard. And he tries to fight Mr. 3. He gets like zapped with like cold energy. Mr. 3 has the ability to turn into a solid, a liquid, and a gas. That's all you need to know. It's kind of like Metamorpho, but not really. Metamorpho can no longer like corporealize his body, like he's melting away. It's horrific imaging, like we see a skeleton with eyeballs in it. Horrific. It is horrific. But then, thankfully, Simon Stagg pulls out the Orb of Ra, because he just has that in a briefcase. He's like, I can use this to do stuff. So here, Java, why don't you grab like the air duct and we'll make it cold so it freezes our guy so he can't turn into anything, so he's stuck as a solid. And then we'll use the same power to give Rex his body back to like its Metamorpho standpoint. This is insanity. It's insanity. Rex is such a weird character to lead a book because the way he talks is insane. Like, he's like, don't worry, baby, I'm on the case. Like, what are we doing here? In 2024, that should not be how we write a character, because you're going to alienate so many people with it. But that is so fun. What a cool concept to do with this character. So Rex is better. He's going to head out to chase down Mr. 3. He gives himself skates so he can run down the hallway. As he turns the corner, he runs into Urania Blackwell. Who is that? She's the ever-loving elemental girl. It's like, what if there was a female version of Metamorpho who had boobs and hair? And he's like, humana, hey, man, I'm a one-woman element kind of guy. And she's like, oh, you mean Sapphire Stagg? We both know you need somebody with a little more flexibility. And she curls him up like a steak. And he's like, humana, boing. And I'm like, what's going on? He's like, wait. I know the name Mr. 3. That's like the handler from when you were an agent working for Shade, and it turned you into like a knockoff version of me. So now they're going to team up together to figure out what Mr. 3 is up to. So they head down to like the storage unit or just like the basement, and they run into Mr. 3. He zaps them with light, knocks them down for a bit. That's when Simon finds like an electrical junction box. He's like, hang on, I got a smart idea, babe. Turn into pure copper. And she's like, I can't turn into copper forever. It hurts. He's like, don't worry about it, baby. It's one thing I learned in like 4th grade science class or whatever. It's that there's a 4th state of matter. If you charge it up with enough electricity, you get plasma. So they turn into copper, keep themselves safe, and they burn Mr. 3 because he can't turn to plasma, but they just shock him into plasma. Because by my count, 3 into 4 equals a big fat 0. What are we talking about? Look, it's insane. It is like, it's so classic comic books. What if a guy broke into the headquarters and had the same powers as you? And you defeated him with just like something easy? It's so easy. All the other main characters show up to the basement now. Sapphire and Rex are dating, and she's like, get away from him, you knockoff wannabe with green hair. That's my man. Why don't you turn into rubber and bounce? Awesome. Awesome thing to say. Java's like, I don't know, I think Metamorpho should go work with Shade. If he's like a man, he should have the opportunity to die for his country. And Simon's like, shut up, he's working for us, you idiot. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. I love it so much. And that's when Metamorpho just realizes, like, something about this ain't adding up right, you know? Because Mr. 3 could have made it anywhere in Stag HQ, but he waited for us. So whatever Project Sunrise is, we know what it starts with. It starts with the death of Metamorpho. And that's where the book ends. Kind of, there's more like dialogue like, and so the wheels are in motion on the deadliest machinery of all. But what is Project Sunrise? And who could be behind it? And all that jazz and everything. Like, what does it have to do with like the Raw realm and everything? Tune in next month to learn more about the woman from yesterday. And that's the book. It's crazy. Steve Lever, the perfect choice for this book. And Al Ewing, he loves writing like classic weird comic book stuff. That is what he does. That is what he does. His Ant-Man book from a couple years ago was like that. His Immortal Thor book currently going on has some of that energy in it. That's what he does. And Metamorpho is the perfect example of just a classic character, the classic character design, and identity and world around him to just go retro and stupid and insane satirical comic book. I like it. If you haven't read this character before, you might be lost in this comic book, but it is funny and purposely funny. I hope you enjoy it and give it a chance. If not, I completely understand because it's a lot of a book, but it's fun. It's really fun. So, Metamorpho, the Element Man, I am going to give this book an 8 out of 10. Now, thank you all for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And of course, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.